Hello YouTube, this is VidHead85 and thank you so much for joining me. This is an episode of That Child-Free Guy, and I don't think I've talked about how I discovered being child-free. So I'm going to talk about it now. So pretty much when I was born, I'm the oldest of five. And of course the oldest tends to have a interesting position in the birth in the order. We're the responsible one. We're the one that we're the mistake child. We're the plot development kids, generally. But the biggest thing for me has been I was parentified as a kid. I actually talk a little bit about it up here, and I talk about the effects that it had on me, and still does, in fact. So parentification is pretty much like a role reversal, where the parent becomes like a child and child becomes parent, or the parent really depends on said child for a lot of reasons. Maybe it's emotional support, maybe it is in fact more like instrumental, because they are old enough to do things around the house that the younger kids cannot do. Maybe the parent works too much. There's so many ways of parentification that mine was more instrumental. So anyway, as I grew up, I knew that I wanted to have kids, and then I came out when I was 19, and then I said, you know what? I want to be married first before I have kids, because I always thought that was the better way to go. To have a firm foundation with yourself as a person, as a couple, and then as a parent, as parents. So that's why I like Shanti and Scott Blocker, because they did the work. They did the really heavy lifting of making sure that they were good in themselves, good as a couple, and then their union as parents is amazing, and they are raising wonderfully emotionally available young boys. So also, just real quick, let me pause the video for a minute. If you, here are some child-free people. Child-free Kimberly, I absolutely love her. I love her brand of bullshit. If you love, she is just amazing. She is unapologetically child-free, whether you like kids or don't, whether you're anti-natalist or not. I personally am not, but I really do understand anti-natalism, because let's face it, we are choking the earth. And to whatever degree of child-free you are, it doesn't matter. And same here. If you hate kids, fine, because we get a lot of shit anyway. We can make all the disclaimers we want to, and they would still be like, well, you're not a parent, you don't understand. And it's like, you're just trying to be superior. Get the flip out of my face. Also, there's whatever corner it is. Okay, this one. In this one, Marcella, a child-free millennial, one of my favorites. She's really animated. She's really animated. I love her too. I literally have both of those channels with the bell button, so that I can look at whenever they're on. Also, there's another one called the Childfree Connection. Veronica and Rick. There was a video where Rick talked about how he was able to find how he came into the child-free life as well. And honestly, they are both phenomenal. They're both amazing. I love watching their videos, and I like hearing about them talk about how they kind of came together and made the child-free connection as well. So those are three places where you can get your fix of child-free, along with this one. Okay, so anyway, I was talking about marriage, and I wanted to get married before I had kids, because I wanted a firm foundation of ourselves, of each other, and then with each other as a unit. And when I had a relationship that I wanted to end in marriage that did not, I later on thought, you know what, yeah, I think I'm okay. I said, I think I'm all right, because I don't have a lot of responsibilities of parenthood, and I think I'm okay with that. I've already tasted that. I don't want it anymore. And when I received a job I used to work on the buses as a bus monitor. It was a lot dealing with those kids after the school day when they just wanted to get up and hop around and do whatever. It was really a lot because they were sitting all day and you simply were there trying to make sure that they stay safe. And then, of course, you can only do so much to enforce discipline, and it depends on what school they're at, if they'll give them consequences at all. A couple of schools I was at, they did not play around. So I really like that support. I later on moved into the schools, and then I have been working inside of the school, in different ways, supporting the mission of public schools. So as I've gone on in my career, I've been just saying, you know what, kids are not having kids is perfect for me because I've already tasted that. I already know I don't want it. I don't want that responsibility. And for people who say that I'm irresponsible, in 11 years I've lived in two places. In the last 11 years, I've been in two places. I have been I've been a model tenant, and I have been amazing. So I don't understand why people think that having kids is what really matures you, because there's no such thing as a narcissistic parent, no such thing as a parent who's just selfish as hell. So anyway, and let's face it, we all hear about those parents all the time. It seems like anytime you say, "Hey, kids are shit," my kid is amazing. Weren't you just you were just calling them a shithead like 5 minutes ago, and all of a sudden your kid is well behaved and amazing? Don't give me that nonsense. So anyway, so I kind of mourned for a little while, and then I just kind of thought, after coming into the child-free community, I'm like, wow, this is great, and it's mostly filled with a lot of women. Woman heavy, and that's interesting. I've been in a lot of predominantly woman spaces, and I actually have been learning a lot about the female reproductive system. I didn't know, I knew that there was a such thing as a hysterectomy, but I didn't know that you can keep your ovaries. That was an interesting thing. And then the bisalp, which is like cutting of the fallopian tubes, and then like tying them, they can actually like tie and sever them, I hear. So anyway, it's been a great crash course here, and if I'm wrong, ladies, please correct me, so that I want to have correct medical information as well. And but yeah, this is kind of this is after discovering Childfree is where I discovered myself, like, you know what, yeah, this is where I've been kind of trending to. Like, yes, I wanted to hear the pitter patter of little feet, but I want to hear it over there when I can. Like, I don't mind like babysitting or anything, because I do have a part-time babysitting gig, but I really like it because it's people that are like can usually like talk or communicate somehow, and I'm not someone who likes to sit in silence all the time. Like, I like to talk, I like to communicate, and as you can tell, I have a channel with almost like 900 videos on it, so I like to talk, but yeah, like after kids start talking, that's when I kind of like, okay, they exist, and I don't know, maybe I need to work on that, or maybe it's just like, maybe I don't. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. So anyway, thank you for joining me. You have yourselves a great day. And what was your path to being child free? Comments below. Thank you.